What is going on, freedom fighters? Welcome back to another Break the Chains Media. Today is October 6th, 2025. Nice fall Monday here on Break the Chains Media. Appreciate everyone joining me. Appreciate everyone hanging out with me. It's been a somewhat eventful week in comparison to other past weekends and other past lights of recent events. I would give it like a 6, maybe a 5 or a 6 on the scale, kind of mid, if it will. But we are going to get into some interesting connections and some interesting thought-provoking discussions that I wanted to have, because with the current trend that's happening right now, especially when we're talking about the Venezuelan narco trafficking that's happening in the international waters, and there's a lot of debate on whether it's part of American hegemony and how America's always been doing its thing and always funding and funneling wars versus what it's constitutionally right, due process. A lot of these buzzwords get thrown around, but I have a different theory, and I have a different tangential, but it kind of all ties back into it, why the Trump administration is focusing so dedicatedly on the Venezuelan narco-terrorists and kind of calling out Venezuela and Maduro and this whole regime that's happening down there, and how it ties specifically with something that innately and intimately connects not just America, but Colorado particularly, to arguably the largest issue of our time, and that is election integrity and how we gain our country back and how we win it back through the important means of honest and trustworthy and point-proven elections. And Venezuela has a very significant role to play in that, and that ties into Tina Peters and this whole larger narrative and what's happening with Tina Peters. It's actually the 1-year anniversary of her being in prison here in Colorado, so I wanted to bring that conversation to light as far as Tina Peters and this whole conversation of what happened with her and how things just, the cards fell just conveniently against her in every way, shape, and form, even though she was doing what her federal obligation was to retain and preserve these federal documents when it comes to election integrity. But we will get into all that, and I wanted to address and touch on this upcoming and potentially, I guess, pivotal point in the info war, with pun intended. The Infowars crew and Alex Jones could potentially be shut down as early as tomorrow, October 7th. So we will get into all that. We're actually going to talk about the different minutia with Owen Schroyer, Alex Jones, Infowars crew, and this whole legal process that's been happening as far as their whole infighting, but the larger scale of maybe it was all kind of in lockstep with a larger narrative at play. But we will get into all that, folks. We'll do the normal run through the timeline, open up to chat. If anybody in the chat would like to say anything, say hello in the chat right now. I can see you, so be sure to say hi. Follow the channel, follow Break the Chains Media, be a part of the chain game, be a part of this movement. We are the links of this chain that actually holds truth and honesty and freedom together in a strange, ironic way. We are trying to break the chains of old mainstream. We are trying to break the chains of conformity, of this old guard, of this old era of how we report the news, digest the news, talk about the news, talk about culture, politics, you name it. That's what Break the Chains Media is, and that's what we are trying to do here, is kind of just deliver it in just a more modern and carefree but passionate way. I'm not wearing a suit. I'm not being that guy, but at the same time, I'm giving you my own insight, and I'm being honest as I can. I might not be the one that has the the thousand multi-million-dollar crew and the big setup here, but I do my due diligence. I try to bring articles up. I try to bring conversations up, and I'm honest with what I try to tell you. So with that being said, I appreciate you being here and being a part of this right now. Let's make sure my audio is right and we're all in track here. So the one that we're good. But we are going to talk about, National Guard stuff as well, how it's being spread across the country. The kind of topical news. I mean, there was the judge's house, the summer house that was caught on fire. That's pretty crazy. But I think that's kind of a maybe a pun intended flash in the pan story. But the fact that that judge's house did catch on fire is tragic, and it's crazy that even happened. But I think that probably had something to do with maybe some sort of housing infrastructure, maybe some sort of fail-safe with the gas line. I don't know. I'm not. I did read the article about it, but we are going to get into it here, folks. I appreciate everyone joining me. If this is the first time, hit that follow button. Share this with everyone you know. Be a part of the change you wish to see in the world. Follow breakthechains.media. Go to the website. Check it out. This is the website. You can follow me. All the socials are here: Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube. All my articles. You can check out Realm Walker Hot Sauce if you wanted to grab a bottle of hot sauce. You just go to the drop-down menu here. If I can actually do it, there we go. And you can find some bottles of hot sauce. Support the channel, support the cause. That is what we are doing here. All handmade, homegrown peppers and hot sauce. Right now, I currently have Vanaheim. I also have Muspelheim and Asgard. So I've got these three flavors. If you are wanting to grab yourself a bottle of hot sauce, support the channel. Reach out to Break the Chains Media. Reach out to myself. You can follow me on X. You can follow me on Instagram. And, if you want a bottle, you let me know. That's how we do it, folks. But we are getting right into it here and now. Really quick rundown here from the last few days. I did mention if you are in Colorado, you do need to be aware. They did hand out the special election stuff that was happening in November here. But get in on the know and understand what they are passing here in Colorado, what they're trying to pass. And I did kind of post this as an eye-catching post, but it's these propositions, LL and MM, are not specifically related to Tabor, but they inherently work around Tabor because the way that Tabor works, because our Bill of Rights here in Colorado, the government has to get approval through the taxpayers to add certain provisions to our Bill of Rights to what can and cannot be taxed. So I use this photo as an eye catcher to say, hey, just so you know, Proposition LL and MM, they are not addressing Tabor specifically, but they are working around Tabor, and they are redistributing funds that would be a part of one thing, and they are moving it to another thing if those funds are not used all allocated, i.e. working around ways that the Tabor laws here in Colorado restrict government to raise taxes or raise fees. So that's why they do this. That's why LL and MM do not vote yes on LL or MM. Vote no. If you are in Colorado, vote no on Proposition LL and MM, because these are workarounds for ways that the government reallocates and redistributes the money that's allocated for certain IE projects, okay? So do your research, make sure you know, and that's something else I want to get into on maybe a segmented video that I do want to push out hopefully this week. Short little videos, but a simple breakdown of those issues. So look into it if you are in Colorado. This is how Colorado operates, right? They come in, they try to save someone, but instead of saving them, they just take their watch and then they walk and they won't run away, right? This is how it works. Big news in Colorado. Victor Marks. This is hilarious. A hilarious post. So Victor Marks announced his candidacy. Actually, let me do this really quick, because since I am talking about it, bringing up the website, so that way I can get a little punch in here. Wait. Stop it. That Rocky Mountain Voice is good, though, right? Does he have his own website? I thought he has his own website. No, he doesn't? I swore I went to his own website. I swore I went to his website. Great. Let's just check this. Yeah, no, but I think it's a self-titled thing. Yeah. Very quickly, we'll jump into it. The dangerous gentleman enters the race. Victor Marks launches gubernatorial bid. So here in Colorado, Victor Marks, I think it was on Friday or Saturday, maybe Thursday, a couple days ago. Victor Marks announced his gubernatorial race under the GOP ticket. This is from the Rocky Mountain Voice. Lots of people definitely came out in support for Victor Marks in Colorado here. Pastors and veterans, El Paso County Sheriff to endorse Marks. Lauren Boebert endorsed Marks. Heidi Ganahl endorsed Marks. So there's a lot of good things happening with this guy. But I do want to stress, you have to make sure you vet your candidates. I know this guy has got a big kind of culty following, and I personally don't know too much about him. I'm not going to speak negatively about him, but it sounds like there's a good buzz overall just from initial takes. So it is important for Colorado residents to understand. Do not get wrapped up in the celebrity of a person. Understand the principles, understand his platform, understand, is this person going to be the right decision for Colorado, right? If we are to rally behind a person, right? And there's a lot of people in the gubernatorial race. You know me, I've been calling some out. But, we've got current elected senators running right now. We've got Mark Baisley running. We've got Scott Bottoms running. We've got Barbara Kirkmeyer running. We've got so many people running for governor here. And that's just on the Republican tickets. We want to make sure whoever we rally behind has a solid platform, stands for the Second Amendment, stands for the Bill of Rights, stands for limited government, fiscal responsibility, freedom of speech, okay? Returning the parental rights to the parents rather than interjecting it with this leftist ideology of this LGBTQ indoctrination. Okay, so there's a lot of things that we have to kind of check off the list here when it comes to endorsing a candidate. But he seems like it could be a good guy. But we want to do that into a separate video. But this is Victor Marks here. I was kind of prefacing that, kind of warming you up. But this is a funny meme because the Democrats are like, oh, we don't like Victor Marks, but oh yes, we do like Karl Marx. Like that. That's why it's funny. We are moving on, folks. We are getting right through it here. Couple other things here, talking about Scott Pressler, talking about Logic Lives, just trying to get a groundswell here happening in Colorado to get the information out. Healthcare for immigrants in Colorado, the government is shut down right now, but we are aware that there's larger thing at play, and they keep claiming that the government isn't funding immigrant healthcare. Oh, the government isn't funding illegal immigrants' healthcare. Well, this is in Colorado, just so you know. This is Colorado. Colorado uses state tax dollars to fund programs that cover illegal immigrants' health care to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars annually. By law, federal government matches 59 cents to every state-funded 50 cents for health care. And are Colorado Democrats using federal money for illegals too? This is a question, But right here on their website, Health First Colorado, Colorado's Medicaid program, okay? Don't let immigration status stop you from applying for health coverage. You have options for getting health care coverage in Colorado, no matter what your immigration status is. Starting January 1st, 2025, you might qualify for Health First Colorado's Medicaid program, okay? Who qualifies? Children and pregnant people. Look, listen to this, folks. Oh my God. Children and pregnant people. Not pregnant women. Pregnant people. This is a government website, folks. Can we stop? Gandalf. Enough of this, right? Enough of this, please. Pregnant people, my ass. Okay? You meet income and household income eligibility requirements. Immigration status does not matter. Okay? A new Colorado law, House Bill 22-1289, known as Cover All Coloradans, will let children and pregnant people, it makes me so mad, it just makes me cringe, right? Apply for full Health First Colorado benefits no matter what their immigration status is starting January 1st, 2025. Don't lie to me when you tell me that the government is not funding illegal immigrants. You are lying. And I don't want to say gaslight because just gaslight's the trendy fucking word. It's lying. They are lying to you when they say the government is not funding illegal immigrants' healthcare. At least in Colorado. Colorado funded healthcare. Okay? CAC. What is that? Cover All Coloradans? CAC? Seth Sparky, what is up? I appreciate you jumping in. Yes. Cover All Coloradans will let children and pregnant people. It's pregnant people, not pregnant women. Because men can be pregnant too, apparently, in this upside-down clown world where we use state tax dollars to fund illegal immigrants' health care. Pregnant people exist, right? If you don't qualify for Health First Colorado, try Omni Salute. So even if you don't qualify for Health First Colorado as an illegal immigrant to the tune of multiple millions of dollars, you can apply for Omni Salute as well. If you don't qualify for Health First Colorado or CHP Plus, Omni Salute is a program that provides Coloradans, no matter what their immigration status is, including adults 19 and older, with a safe way to compare affordable private health insurance plans and enroll on a secure online platform. Omni Salute program is a safe option because you'll be shopping for and enrolling in private health insurance plans through Colorado's Connect Safe and Secure website. And it says here, financial help is available but limited. So health insurance plans through Omni Salute may have a monthly payment. So they might still cost some money, but this is a program specifically made for illegal immigrants in Colorado to compare health insurance programs. Okay? Using maybe not all tax dollar money, but some tax dollar money. Folks, they lie to you. They gaslight you. Okay? They say they're not funding illegal immigrant health care, but they actually are. 100%. It is on Colorado's Medicaid at least at the state level. At minimum at the state level, that's what they're doing. Okay? So, just with that there, we're gonna roll right through here. This is another thing I just posted. It's nothing to do with healthcare. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's I made a joke about it, but Colorado State Office of Naturopathic Doctor Registration permanent rulemaking hearing October 15th, 2025. Are you in naturopathic medicine field? This year, Colorado legislators passed a law for new regulations and state control over your business. On October 15th, there will be an opportunity for a final testimony on some permanent rules. So I highly encourage you, if you are in the naturopathic or know someone who is in the naturopathic doctor field here in Colorado, please let them know they still have an opportunity to submit final testimony for some of the permanent rules. This is good. I made a joke. I lightheartedly made a joke. All those hippies chugging moon water and brewing witches tinctures in Boulder are going to be pissed. Making a joke, trying to ha about it. But it is important to be aware of these bureaucratic and Orwellian, these encroachments of legislation and expanded government here in Colorado. Be aware of it, please. Some North Carolina stuff. This is this is actually great. If you are available, please sign the petition to repeal HB 24-1034. This is the bill that changed the competency ruling for for criminals, right? So sign the petition. We the Parents Colorado. You can go to my X page. You can find it right here. It's on my timeline. Sign it. Takes 2 seconds to do it. But this would repeal, or at least petition to repeal, HB 24-1034, the law that they passed 2 years ago that allows for competency claims for prisoners to be let out back on public. Okay, and now we are going to get into the meat and potatoes of what I wanted to speak on, because you got Tina Peters, you got other stuff here, you got the Dominion voting system, you got Venezuela. So here's where we are, folks. And I just wanted to get the rundown really quick on just kind of giving you a full breakdown of what's actually going on here. But I wanted to make it apparent to everyone and understand that there is a fundamental there's an attack happening here in Colorado, and it happened a long time ago, but we have to be aware of it, right? And this is, and tying in with Victor Marx and getting someone, right? Getting somebody, getting a governor who is sane to hopefully, fingers crossed, pardon Tina Peters. Because right now, Tina Peters has spent 1 calendar year in state penitentiary because of the crimes that she committed as per the judgment in her court case and her trial. I do want to pull this up. Let me find this up here. I should pull this up before. Because she was convicted. Yeah, well, Phil Weiser is a piece of trash, but we're gonna pull that up. That's 24. So yeah, as of October 3rd, 2024, Tina Peters has spent 1 calendar year in state prison. Let me see. Yeah, she was sentenced to 9 years in prison for her role in a scheme that involved unauthorized access to election equipment. But I want to make sure that we all are aware the specific felony. You know what? Fuck this. I'm just gonna pull it up right here because I can do it right fucking here. It's actually a lot fucking faster than stupid internet trash. Okay. Specific. God, I love that. Love that. Love that. Yes, sure. Yeah. So, because Grok is a hell of a lot fucking faster. Okay. Tina Peters was found guilty on 7 of 10 felony and misdemeanor charges. The jury acquitted her on 3 counts. 1 count of conspiracy to commit criminal impersonation, 1 count of criminal impersonation, and 1 count of identity theft. Okay? So the jury acquitted her on 3 counts. But her specific convictions were attempting to influence a public servant, 3 counts, felony, up to 6 years in prison each. Conspiracy to commit criminal impersonation, felony, up to 18 months in prison. First degree official misconduct, violation of duty, and failure to comply with Secretary of State. Okay? So, she's in jail for 9 years. Okay? 9 years she's been put behind bars because of the convictions. Okay? Judge Matthew Barrett sentenced Peters to a total of 9 years, 8.5 years in prison, plus 6 months in county jail. The judge described her actions as, quote, well-documented lies and called her a charlatan. That's actually the judge's words. The judge called her a charlatan who showed no remorse, stating that she was, quote, as defiant as a defendant as this court has ever seen, and would likely repeat the offenses if possible. Yes, because she was right. Peters remained unapologetic, maintaining she protected election integrity. Her supporters, including Mike Lindell, have called her a hero and a martyr, while the sentencing has drawn threats against the judge and the courthouse staff. Ooh, whoop-de-fucking-do. The fact of the matter is that this judge and the Secretary of State and everything against her was weaponized against her, because the what's happened in Colorado over the course of the years, over the course of over a decade, is she just scratched the surface of the corruption that's happened in Colorado. And she was a victim of the system, and they had to make an example of Tina Peters. Okay? Peters was the first U.S. election official criminally charged in connection with to substantiate 2020 election conspiracy theories. She faces no bond. They have given her no bond pending appeals and is banned from election-related work. Okay? Absolutely disgusting, the level in which they have done dirty against Tina Peters. Okay? Phil Weiser's a piece of trash. October 2nd, 2025. Colorado Attorney General says Tina Peters' First Amendment appeals claims are wrong. Let's hear what this trash rag of a fucking Phil Weiser said, okay? Colorado Attorney General has formally responded to claims of former Republican Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters in the state court trying to keep her from speaking out on election security in violation of her First Amendment rights, and has unjustly denied her bond while she appeals her convictions on charges related to handling election equipment. Okay? Peters is currently incarcerated at the La Vista Correctional Facility, a medium security facility for women located in Pueblo. Okay? Peters has filed a federal habeas corpus petition and argues that the judges who oversaw the case, Matthew Barrett, denied her bail to silence her, violating her constitutionally protected right to free speech. We have, quote, "We have a person in prison because of a fear that she's a danger to society because of what she might say," said Peters. Tina Peters' attorney, Peter Tickton, that's a whole sentence, during an earlier hearing on the case. Tickton is a constitutional lawyer based in Florida who helped lobby for pardons for participants in the January 6th attack. And they tied it in with Oath Keepers, whatever. In a legal filing this week, Attorney General Phil Weiser said the state court denied bail for Peters because the court found that she was a flight risk and a danger to the community. Really? That's what they're going off of? They're saying that she's a flight risk. Wow. And a danger to the community. The question is not whether the state court decision was correct, but whether it was objectively unreasonable. Yes, it was unreasonable. It was absolutely unreasonable, because what happened with that court case, what really went on with that court case, okay? The fact of the matter is that Tina Peters found discrepancies in the Mesa County Clerk and Recorder's office. She brought, and on top of that, the main reason why she is in this position that she's in, and why that she has very strangely been given the felony conspiracy to commit criminal impersonation, okay, and attempting to influence a public servant, okay, the reason that she got those was because she brought someone in, she brought a third party in to preserve the election results. Tina Peters wanted to preserve the election results that Secretary of State Jenna Griswold wanted to destroy after 6 months of the 2020 election. Okay? Tina Peters said, that's actually not federally, that's not federally legal. We have to preserve this federal election for 22 months. We have to preserve the election information for 22 months as per federal law. So, Tina Peters and this is the point where it gets interesting, because Tina Peters then brings in someone to extract the files, and then this person, this group of people who at this point was not vetted, and I think this is when the case kind of goes against Tina Peters' favor, is that these people essentially framed or essentially built up this situation, this case, and then Tina Peters was the one that took the blame because of what these people ended up finding out, or these people ended up pulling together, right? And this is the larger problem, right? Check this out. Attention, Department of Justice. Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold hired a Soros-funded election integrity NGO named Verified Voting to oversee Colorado elections. There is zero outside review of Colorado elections. The audit system is completely self-contained within Democrat control. Okay? Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold speaks for the House U.S. Supreme Court in Washington. A case of voter fraud was discovered in Mesa County. This whole thing about Tina Peters in Mesa County and this whole underground route of corruption and electronic voting systems and mail-in voting systems and how and the discrepancies that we've found, okay? The system in which we have found on this very interesting thing, okay? I have it all here. I have it all here. Smartmatic, Dominion, Venezuelan computers, okay? All ties together in such an evil and disparaging way. So gross, so, I mean, like, 100% corrupt. All right, let's check it out here, folks. Conan Hayes. Who the fuck is Conan Hayes, you ask? I ask. Everyone asked. Who the fuck is Conan Hayes? Well, he's arguably the Ray Epps of this whole Tina Peters debacle. He arguably is an inside man, as it were, when it comes to the election information and the election integrity and the Mesa County Clerk and Recorder Office and who retained the files and how Tina Peters is now in prison. Quote, note that while Hayes' actions, quote, impersonating Gerald Wood to access and copy sensitive voting machine data appears criminal on the surface, example, potential identity thefts, unauthorized access, or conspiracy, no indictments have been issued against him. Do you see this? So Conan Hayes was the person that was brought in by Tina Peters and the group overseeing the verified, to extract this verified election information from the offices of the Mesa County Clerk. Conan Hayes came in and impersonating Gerald Wood in the computer to act like, this is how they got around this, right? This is how they threw impersonating an official on Tina Peters, because she brought in this person who arguably should be serving the crime, because this person committed the crime, but Tina Peters is in prison while he's not. Somebody make sense of it, please. Okay? This person logged into the computers as Gerald Wood to extract the election information, to retain the election information for Tina Peters, and Tina Peters is the one who is suffering. Okay? Very interesting how it all plays out, how it all plays together. But now I know you're all sitting on the edge of your seat wondering, well, how does this all tie in? How does all this Tina Peters and Conan Hayes and Mesa County Clerk and Recorder, how does all this tie in with Venezuelan narco gangs? How does this tie in with Venezuelan narco gangs getting blown up in the Caribbean Ocean? or the Caribbean Sea. How does all this play? How does all this play together? Okay. Well, I've got something to pull. I've got something to pull in for you here. Okay. Right here. I'm gonna show you right now. Bringing it up in real time. Really quick, I wanted to shout out. If you enjoy this kind of conversation, if you enjoy this kind of chat, hit the thumbs up button. We do live streams Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm here for you. I'm here for everyone to be a part of it, to be a part of that change you wish to see in the world. That is why we do what we do here at Break the Chains Media. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for appreciating and supporting the channel. Give me a thumbs up and share this with everyone. Get on X. If you're on X right now, share this right now. If you share it on X right now, we could be reaching 10 times the amount of people I'm seeing right now in the stream. 10 times the amount. Okay? So let's check it out. From Big Timber Lodge, from Nick Rogers, Big Timber Lodge, makes perfect sense of the breakdown of how all the elections and voter rights come into play. Voter rights equals civil rights. Election integrity equals voter rights. Secure elections equal election integrity. One vote as per one American, one citizen, right, equals secure elections. If your state resists any of this, it is a violation of your civil rights, right? Now read this backwards. A violation of your civil rights is not having one vote per one American, is not having secure elections, is not having election integrity, is not having and retaining voter rights, is a violation of your civil rights. Okay? Just remember that. Okay? But you ask, how does this all tie into Venezuelan narco gangs? How does this play into what do you mean? What do you mean the Venezuelan narco gangs and the blowing up of boats in the Caribbean Ocean has anything to do with Tina Peters in Mesa County? Let's read. Here's the receipts, folks. Check it out. This is from the filings regarding the Lindell case, the voter integrity case that's happening right now, or this last couple years. These processes, okay. Just recently, September 28th, not a little bit more than a week ago, okay. A summary from the witness from Smartmatic Systems, okay? Right here from the National Pulse. This is actually a tangential article. Sorry, this is a tangential article, but let me go back to this. A witness drew a direct connection between Smartmatic Venezuelan election rigging and the vulnerabilities found in Mesa County's Dominion forensic images. This is how it all ties together, folks. Hear me out. Clip this segment. Anyone in the chat, anyone able to do it, I'm going to start right now. You clip this segment. Ready, set, go. You want to know how Tina Peters and the Venezuelan narco gangs and the Venezuelan corruption of the government ties in with Mesa County, Tina Peters, and our election integrity? It's right here, and this is what's happening. Witnesses drew a direct connection between Smartmatic, Venezuelan election rigging, and the vulnerabilities found in Mesa County's Dominion forensic images. He testified that Dominion systems, that's Dominion voting systems, architecture shares core elements with Smartmatic voting systems, enabling manipulation through the same methods. Deliberately small log files, accessible source code, SAES, data utility style tools, and remote, quote, man-in-the-middle connections. He concluded that Dominion systems built with Chinese components in a voting system designed by former Smartmatic engineers are not secure or auditable in U.S. elections. Boom. And then you take it back. Do a rewind. We're throwing it way back, folks. We're throwing it way back. Going back to WikiLeaks, 2006 WikiLeaks Vault 7 dump. Okay? This is from 2006, folks. The Venezuelan-owned Smartmatic Corporation is a riddle both in ownership and operation, complicated by the fact that its machines have overseen several landslide and contested victories by President Hugo Chavez and his supporters. The electronic voting company went from a small technology startup to a market player in just a few years, catapulted by its participation in the August 2004 recall referendum. Smartmatic has claimed to be of U.S. origin, but its true owners, probably elite Venezuelans of several political strains, remain hidden behind a web of holding companies in the Netherlands and Barbados. So this is a much wider net. This is a much wider compromisation. Our election systems are compromised through global interests, through shell companies in third world countries around the world, folks. This is what's happening. And Tina Peters just scratched the surface here in Colorado, here in Mesa County. Okay? I'm opening this up right now. It's the same thing, but I'm just letting you know that this link is real. WikiLeaks, Public Library of U.S. Diplomacy. This is from 2006, July 10th. Okay? It's all from here. Who owns Smartmatic? Okay? Smartmatic was founded in the late 90s by three Venezuelans, Antonio Mugica, Alberto Anzola, and Roger Pinate. According to Mudiga's conversations with Polovs in recent years, the three had developed a network of capable handling of thousands of simultaneous inputs. An early application was ATMs in Mexico. Interesting. And the group led consider electronic voting platforms. The company formed SPC consortium with Venezuelan telecom providers CAN TV. Like, it's all here, folks. This whole thing. Okay? All of it. It's all here. A shadow of fraud. Okay? This goes back so long. And now, how does it tie to the narco gangs in Venezuela, the narco drug trafficking? What's happening right now with the narco gangs, right? What's happening right now? Because everyone thinks that Trump's just blowing up. He's just blowing up innocent fishermen in the Caribbean Ocean. Folks, this, albeit I don't appreciate the nature in which we could just go out and start bombing ships. But you have to prove, I feel like you have to prove, at least verify, and here, honestly, here's the real thing, folks. Why the fuck are we even like why is the news, why is the Trump administration even allowing the story to be reported on? Somebody from the Department of War has to give this information to the media to then say, hey, use this FLIR footage, use this thermal footage of us bombing a fucking narco boat to oblivion. Put that on the nightly news. Even though, like, it's gonna raise so many eyebrows and questions about constitutionality and whether Congress needs to, submit an act of war against Venezuela. That's all like over here when we're talking about election integrity. But the point I'm trying to make here is Trump's administration, the efforts against the drug trafficking from Venezuela is a real threat. The drug trafficking is a real threat, but it's opening the door to a larger entry into the South American war theater that is possibly and quite potentially the United States getting a physical beachhead, a physical presence in Venezuela, and maybe putting on the conspiracy theory hat, folks, wearing the tinfoil. Maybe they're using the narco drug game as a ruse to get a United States into Venezuela to then potentially extract some of this election file information. Maybe, just maybe, we're using this to get into Venezuela so that way we can pull out, and maybe there's bombshell verifiable evidence of foreign foreign election interference from Venezuela with the Smartmatic system, with the compromised backdoor system that operates within not only Smartmatic but Dominion voting systems. Maybe there is this long this chain link effort of Smartmatic voting machines, Venezuelan ran Smartmatic voting machines, infrastructure that's instituted through Smartmatic with Dominion voting machines that Dominion voting machines use in America. Dominion voting machines and Smartmatic systems are all compromised through the same backdoor channels. And then the Mesa County clerks, Tina Peters, discovers these backdoor channels, finds discrepancies, brings this people in, and then not only that, but then you get the Conan Hayes of the world. You get these people to come in, sit down, and say, oh, we didn't find anything, but sucks that Tina Peters just hired me to do this extremely illegal felony thing, and it'd be a shame if someone found out about it. And there was actually nothing here, even though this person that was on the computer doing the Fed stuff probably just shoved it all under the rug and made sure no one knew about it, right? Because he was a Fed operative from the fucking get-go. And then they threw Tina Peters under the bus as an example, right? As the example to say, hey, no one better start questioning this election integrity stuff. No one better start doing deep data dives into how our election system's fundamentally rigged and flawed with third-party compromised data and infrastructure, digital infrastructure. We can't have that. We can't have more Tina Peters investigating how our infrastructure is compromised on a international global scale digitally, right? That's how I see it playing out. Let me know what you think in the chat, folks. Maybe that's a little too far-fetched, but I see it being a very logical 1, 2, 3, 4 chain of succession, chain of command of this is what happened to what we saw in the result with Tina Peters, right? And now we're seeing this heightened state of Venezuelan accusations, right? We're accusing Venezuelans on these levels of like, oh well, can't be having. We got to go after the Venezuelan drug gangs. The next thing you know, we're going to say, oh, well, Maduro runs with the drug gangs. And then on top of that, oh, now we've uncovered these compromised election materials with Maduro. Do you see how it all kind of ties together? Let me know what you think, chat. Let me know your thoughts, because I'm just like, maybe did I just get it? Did I just get it? Maybe. I don't know. This is just how my brain works, folks. Smartmatic co-founder charged with bribing top Venezuelan official. This is the kind of stuff we're looking at, okay? Federal prosecutors have accused Smartmatic co-founder Roger Piñate, is that Piñate? Piñate, of bribing Venezuelan top election official with a luxury residence in exchange for political favors. Who was involved? Roger Piñate, election of chief Tibise Luciano Ramirez, and unnamed co-conspirators, allegedly between April and July of 2019 in Caracas, Venezuela. Keynote: we have always operated lawfully, ethically, and transparently. We will stand by our 2-decade track record of integrity. Smartmatic statement. Bullshit. You've already had people basically say that Smartmatic's been compromised on its basis of infrastructure. Okay? That's what I'm saying. All of it stinks to high hell. Okay? And where is this here? And this is all trash. It's all trash. Do I have anything else? That's Conan Hayes. Great. Let's go here. So that's yeah. This goes back many years. WikiLeaks in 2006 spoke of Venezuelan-owned Smartmatic system. Tina Peters was the thick of the corruption, election rigging, and fraud that's been happening in Colorado since the Gang of Four invaded. Then the Gang of Four invaded, took over Colorado, instituted their crazy leftist laws to make sure that they retain in power through their legislative processes. Then they totally restructure how the election system works. They install mail-in voting, statewide mail-in voting here in Colorado in 2013. Then they also layer in the election, the immigrants being registered through the DMV, and simultaneously, when you sign up with the DMV, you get signed up to vote. So you get illegal immigrants getting state IDs, also getting registered to vote, and it's all mail-in ballot, and it's not verified, and there's no, photo ID or verification process. But they claim there is. They claim that it's the gold standard of election integrity, right? Gold standard. Bullshit. This is how it happens. So Colorado compromised, and then on top of that, you get your election integrity ran through by Dominion voting machines, right? Yeah, China. Yeah, it even said it right there. It even said it here. Was it here or the other one? Yes. Yeah, in this statement, he concluded that Dominion systems built with Chinese components in a voting system designed by former Smartmatic engineers are not secure or auditable in U.S. elections. This was a summary witness, okay, in the case. Okay? I posted here. Dominion voting machines. Dominion voting systems. What a top tier, in your face, Orwellian doublespeak name for an election voting system. And people still think electronic voting and mail-in balloting is safe and secure. And people in Colorado, particularly our Secretary of State, Jenna Griswold, calls it the gold standard of election integrity and election security. No wonder why they call it the gold standard, because they can fucking manipulate it any way they want. Whoever's in charge of the votes, whoever counts the votes, wins the election. I'm pretty sure Stalin said something like that along those lines, right? It's not about who goes to vote. It's not about who runs for office. It's not about how many people show up to the ballot box. It's all about who counts the votes. That's how communists operate. And who's in charge of the vote counting here in Colorado? No other than Soros-backed and funded for many years Secretary of State Jenna Griswold, working hand in hand with Attorney General Phil Weiser and the Gang of Four, Jared Polis, and all these upper elitists here in Colorado to ensure that the buddy system works in their favor, and we have to continue to call it all out here in Colorado. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Darth Kane. And she gets away with posting all the passwords. Exactly. Yeah. I had a live stream on that, with the fact that she posted, no. According to her testimony and how she cleaned it all up, she didn't do it. It was a clerk recorder who did it. It was someone who worked under her. So she just fired that person. It wasn't her fault. It wasn't under her purview. It wasn't under her jurisdiction to make sure that Colorado voter machine passwords were not open to the public. 61 out of 64 counties, I believe it was. 61 out of 64 counties of Colorado's electronic voting machines were just posted on the website for months and months. But no. Secretary of State Jenna Griswold, she didn't do anything wrong. But Tina Peters gets 9 years in prison without a chance of parole because Phil Weiser says so, because she's a flight risk and she's a threat to the community. Right? That's what they said. That's what they said. She's an endanger to the community and others. Right? Phil Weiser said that. She can't go on. She can't have parole option. But no. P. Diddy gets 4 years in prison. P. Diddy only gets 4 years. Tina Peters, Gold Star mom, patriot, 9 years, no parole. Bullshit. No, let's read the definition of what Dominion means, right? What does Dominion mean? Dominion voting systems. What a top-tier, in-your-face, Orwellian doublespeak name for an electronic voting system. And people still think the electronic voting and mail-in balloting system is safe and secure. The gold standard of Colorado's voting, right? The definition for the word dominion: control over a country or people. To have dominion over. Used in an example, God has dominion over, or equals control, all of creatures. Napoleon dreamed of achieving total global dominion. Like, what an Orwellian name to use for an electronic voting machine system, right? Dominion voting system. That is just so quintessentially evil. Sick. No accountability. She's the boss, and it happened under her watch. Absolutely. Oh, nope. She has nothing to blame for it, folks. Nothing to blame for it at all. Okay? Where is it at? I had it down here. Where was it? Yeah. This bitch. Do I have it right here? No, that's... Is this the same article? I think it is, yeah. I have another article here. Did I save it? No, maybe. I thought I saved it, but I guess I didn't. No, dude. I mean, here's the thing, and this is what I want to try to make sure that we're all aware of, is that when we talk about election integrity, when we talk about standards, when we talk about voting, we talk about what's happening here in Colorado, I am not trying to dissuade anyone from voting. I'm not trying to say that, like, you know, everything's fucked and black pill and, like, get the fuck out. Like, I want everyone to understand that we still have a responsibility to make sure that the system in which we are operating within is held to accountability standards. Jenna Griswold has no place to be Secretary of State here in Colorado. She failed her position. She should have been removed from office. Phil Weiser thinks that three carjacking attempts is okay, and then we'll start talking about severe punishment for the carjacker after the third carjacking. This is the level of incompetency that we're getting in elected offices, folks. Jared Polis wants to keep jacking up prices here in Colorado and putting all these ridiculous multi-million-dollar pet projects out of here in Colorado all over the place, but he can't address the fact that most of Colorado can't afford to fucking live. And we have to pick up second and sometimes third jobs just to pay the bills in this fucking state because of his ignorant and failed process as a governor. But no, it's the people like us who question and hold these people accountable. These are the bad guys, right? These are the ones. Oh, these are the rabble rousers. You can't have these. Fuck off with that shit. Get out of here. Appreciate you all dealing with my rants, but I'm just so tired of this level of deception and pulling the wool over our eyes and projection, placing the blame everywhere else but where it needs to be, right? Appreciate everyone jumping in this. And we are wrapping up here. A few more minutes here. I do want to just be very, very quickly with this last little segment, and then we are going to funnel over to the next part of the evening. But let's see here. We are gonna go right into it here. So come to find out, Infowars has had a long, it's been a back and forth battle, up and down, left, right, with, are they going off the air? Are they losing this? Are they losing it? Does the judgment come down today? Does it come down next month? Who bought Infowars? Who's taken over Infowars? Will ever be able to listen to Alex Jones again? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, the whole Owen Schroyer debacle. I don't know if you were listening a couple weeks back, but Owen Schroyer left Infowars about a month ago now through what seemed to be a heated and contested spat between Alex Jones and Owen Schroyer, and I think both had points to be made in that debacle. But right now, as it stands, it appears that Alex Jones is as early as tomorrow, Tuesday, October 7th. The judge, there could be a judgment that comes in, and they could basically shut down Infowars as early as tomorrow. So let's take a listen to what Alex has to say here.
You need to listen to me. We've held them off from years, shutting us down. The receiver from the state court that the federal court greenlit a week ago, hell, Wednesday, less than a week ago, to come in here. We didn't know they'd come the next day, whatever. He's here Tuesday. They haven't told me what time yet. I'm not even sure Tuesday. I got to have Harrison wait in the wings. I'll learn tomorrow when they're coming. And when they get here, I'm not going to shove a camera in their face and be aggressive. They got a real court order, even though it's from a fraudulent state court that rigged everything. I'm not going to give what they want in some confrontation. I'm a very nice person. Would you like coffee? Would you like water? Would, walk around and say how you feel being part of this? You just, they don't want money. Here's a memory stick with all them saying they want to shut us down. It's from the DOJ. Just so you know who you're working for, here you go. All I ask is, don't act like you don't know later what you were part of, because I just gave you everything. That's it. Now, are you going to give my crew any severance pay? That's my question.
Yeah, because what's basically going to happen is that, like, once these people come in, they basically seize Infowars. They will be seizing Infowars and essentially shutting it down or converting it, whatever they want to do. It sounds like there is talks, and it's all unconfirmed, all alleged. It sounds like whoever is in charge of potentially this acquisition of Alex Jones's assets, that is Infowars, the whole Infowars systems, they're going to try to turn it into some like left-leaning, like Onion / Drudge Report, a hybrid, basically using Infowars as this shell of what it once was to pulpit leftist narratives. That's what I hear. But everyone's going to get fired. So Alex is sitting here saying, hey, you're going to come in here and do X, Y, and Z. You better like make sure my crew gets paid. So, oh, okay.
We've held them off down to this operation is. And because we survived, that's it. But that's how close the shutdown of this operation is. And because we survived so many times, people pretended like it was a crying a wolf. Let me tell you, I'm the opposite of the boy that cried wolf. I'm the boy that killed a bunch of wolves. And that's why the wolves are coming for me, the whole wolf pack. And because I've survived so long, thanks to hardcore supporters that got it, there's like this little game by people that never actually had skin in the game to act like, oh, yeah, right, you'll never get shut down. Yeah, right. Just because the Alamo held out a while doesn't mean it didn't fall. So all I ask for the listeners is, I don't know what he's going to do on Tuesday. But to say I got my ass puckered would be an understatement. And this crew has gone through this being jerked around, everything they've gone through, and I literally love this crew. Some of them have been here 20-something years. Most of them 8-9 years on average. This is the best crew, and most of them have been here for a long time I've ever had. And in my life, other than my relationship with God and my family, this crew is one of the most valuable things in my life, and I appreciate them, and I mean that from all my heart, because they have stood the test of time. They didn't cut and run like other people. And if we had more people like this crew right here, we would not be in the situation we're in right now. If I had 1 million people like this country would be saved. We save the whole world. Well, you know what? We're going to find the people. We're going to do it. But my point is, support us now. Buy one, get one free. 20%.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So AlexJonesApp.com is the website for his app. I guess his app. I'm not sponsored. I don't really care. You want to keep supporting him? Sure. Go ahead. But the thing I was trying to bring up with this whole thing, rounding it all off, is that they are trying to silence any and all dissent, right? They want to make sure we are in this open world, this open AI system, this open AI structure, this brave new world, as it were, of information, right? And just the name, the fact that the name Infowars, right? It is now associated and forever will be, at least with my generation, this 20, 30 years of Alex Jones being on Infowars. It has encapsulated a idea, right? It has encapsulated a message, a truth that means, we are all in an information warfare right now. We are in the battle for the minds and the freedom of men and women and people around this world, all up and down, okay? And we have to cut through the agenda. We have to cut through the population. We have to break the chains, as it were. Wow, would you look at that? I did it again. But we have to dispel this illusion that they've instilled on us, that they've pulled the wool over our eyes. They make us wear these rose tinted glasses. They give us all of these hot commodities, all of these immediate eye catching goodies, these things that make us all acquiesce to their system, to their structure. Alex Jones has bucked the system. Alex Jones has been a part of the system, combating this evil, right? Love him or hate him, I've always called him an infotainment specialist, right? He is an infotainer, right? He brings out information. He brings the truth. He presents it to everyone. He's a very captivating, polarizing figure. A lot of people love him or hate him, or somewhere in between. And it depends on how you heard of him. It depends on where you came from with all of it. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to is that he stood for truth. He stood for the First Amendment. He stood for the Constitution. He stood for the free will and the Bill of Rights and the power to the people, right? Exposing these lies, exposing these crimes. And don't get me wrong, Owen Schroyer's done the same. Okay, Jason Burmis has done the same. Okay. You name it. There's been many people through his long storied history of operating with Infowars. David Knight, Owen Schroyer, Rob Dew, Jason Burmis, Nick Rudowski, Mike Adams, the Health Ranger. So many different people have come and gone. Stephen Quayle, Mark Dice, you name it. There's so many people. Owen Benjamin jumped in there. Like, there's a lot of people that have sat behind that desk. Fuck, Kanye West sat behind that desk. I mean, obviously as an interview, but not as a reporter. But I mean, Chase Geiser. You got Greg Reese. So many talented and very intelligent people worked behind the Infowars desk, okay? And it's a shame to see this weaponization of this mainstream corporate media trying to silence an idea. Well, the thing is, folks, you can't silence an idea, okay? Alex Jones is just going to be as pervasive, and he'll be on 100 other platforms. It doesn't matter. It's like whack-a-mole. You take one channel down, 3 more pop up. It doesn't matter what you do. We will always be able to speak truth to power and be a part of that. And guess what? I fully support Alex Jones. I fully support Owen Schroyer. I'm going to check out. Owen Schroyer just had his first live stream on Owen Schroyer Live. I think that's what it was called, right? Let me see if I can find that. But no, Owen Schroyer Live. I totally support Owen Schroyer. And what's great about Owen Schroyer is that he's younger. He's my age. We're the same age bracket. He's super versed. He's super intelligent. Very well, professional in front of the camera. Okay, he's done it, right? He's been a part. He took a metaphorical bullet for reporting when he was at January 6th. He was in jail. He was imprisoned for stepping on the Capitol grounds on January 6th. Well, I mean, I 100% support everyone in this fight. As long as you stand by your convictions and stand by your principles, stand by your morals, be that person. Do not get bought out, sold out, okay, compromised by foreign money or foreign interests. Do not be that cult of personality, celebrity. And if you do, I'll call you out. And if I do, call me out. Everybody's got to be on the same bandwagon together. We are here to represent the good and the future of the American constitutional republic every single day. First Amendment rights. Rein back this overarching Orwellian control state that's being established around us on all levels, on all fronts. Both parties do it. You cannot deny it. Okay, we cannot be a Trump toting fucking tea bag drinking fucking right wing cult, no different than the Marxist Democrats who kowtow to open borders and this Marxist agenda of destroying the family and destroying the genders and destroying culture. Okay, they're just as bad as these blind MAGA devotees who think infallible God Trump is going to be the savior. It doesn't work that way, folks, and we have to understand that it comes back to ourselves. It comes back to us. Okay, and objectively looking at the truth and calling a spade and seeing things for what they are. Okay, that's why I'm holding this fucking meme up. Okay, holding things accountable for what they are and how we see them objectively. Okay, Antifa is not an organization. Antifa just has a flag, uniforms, official colors, local chapters, meeting places, email signups, and clear directives for members. Huh. Weird. Super weird. No, you can't. They couldn't possibly be an organization. Bullshit. Okay? Call a spade. Call it out for what it is. See it for what it is, and make sure that we are not just kowtowing to the fucking the same age-old talking points. Okay? Speak truth to power. Okay? Be the change you wish to see in the world. Okay? Understand that there is going to be inherent corruption. Understand that there is problems in this world, and we're not going to be able to solve it all. We're not going to be able to solve it all at once. But if we stay consistent and stay dedicated to the cause and what we want to achieve in this world, okay? We want to make sure that what we see is the best version of our lives, okay? And excuse me really quick, I am just quickly grabbing this. We are going to be raiding into the next channel here, next chat. Folks, I do appreciate everyone that's hung out with me for this time. I do appreciate everyone that shows up for Break the Chains Media. It means a lot to me, and I'm hoping that we will continue this kind of conversation. We will continue this energy until we go nationwide, till more and more people start listening to us and start following us. And the next thing you know, we're reaching critical mass, because we have to stay vigilant in the fight. And if we're not, if you know, and don't think just because some days might be better than others, don't think that you're not getting anything solved in the world, right? Don't think that you're not getting anything accomplished, because we all are. Every single day we're achieving little accomplishments every single day, and us speaking about these things, us trying to connect these dots and think a little bit more critically, like I'm trying to think about with this Venezuelan narco gangs, and tying it in with the Venezuelan Smartmatic systems, and how Smartmatic systems are tied with Dominion voting systems, and how all of this election integrity stuff is tied in with Tina Peters and Mesa County, and there's a larger issue at play here that's happening in America. We see it. I see it. I hope you do too. And to sit down and say, all right, well, how do we combat this, right? Because I believe that every U.S. citizen has a right to vote, and make sure our vote is counted for and point proven, 100% intended to vote exactly the way we wanted to. And the problem is that right now we got commies counting the votes. Okay? If commies count the votes, guess who wins? The motherfucking commies. Make sure that we understand that is what we're up against. Honest integrity in elections. Okay? Get the corrupt individuals out of the election offices. Make sure that we have non-biased, non-partisan integrity and secure elections. Same day, national holiday, in person, on paper, and fucking, straight up. Like, I don't know. Like, it's pretty simple. Pretty simple to put it all together. But, folks, I appreciate everyone joining me in this rant right now. We are going over to the Quiet Part Pod, because that is the one who is on the show leading up to Timcast IRL. But I appreciate everyone joining me. Tomorrow we will be doing a live stream a little bit earlier in the day, but nonetheless, join me for Tyranny Response Tuesday tomorrow on Break the Chains Media. Follow me at Break the Chains M on X. BreakTheChains.media is the website. Folks, I appreciate you. Thank you all for hanging out. And as always, fight for freedom and never give up.